Hey, it's Spencer here, and I'm sitting on the very beanbag I sat on last summer when I made what became a super popular video on my channel called The Best Breakup Ever. And I was sitting with my current, and at the time obviously my girlfriend, Camelia. Camelia and I did not actually break up. I just want to clarify that in case someone didn't understand, but somehow that video became very inspiring for people. It became my third most popular video, and even the video that I get the most feedback about when I meet people in person, usually at RSD events, and they're like, wow, that breakup video was amazing, and I'm like, wow. The more and more someone compliments me about it, the more comments I get on it, the less I want to watch it, because that video wasn't intended to be amazing at all. I understand that the video is popular because Camelia and I are very much in love, and we obviously communicate that through the video, and I'm proud of that. It's something we work hard for. We work really hard for it, but I was making that video along with this 30-day challenge I was doing last summer in order to build this video making muscle I was trying to cultivate. And it was just to be a 3-minute video for 30 days, that's all. And Camelia happened to join me for one of them, and we made it the best breakup ever. What we were actually doing last summer was taking a physical break. So not an actual relationship break, but a physical break from each other, because it had been at the time a year into our relationship, and god fucking damn it, I am and I was and will continue to be, but especially at the beginning of my relationship, crazy about Camelia. She is just amazing. Frankly, a dream come true, which, as you can imagine, can be a problem, because when someone is a dream come true, how easily can that dream be shattered? And it was. Because I put Camelia on this unrealistic pedestal as my girlfriend and all the things that my girlfriend is, once that pedestal started to be destroyed by the reality of just her being a human being, I began to treat her pretty poorly, and I'm not very proud of that, but we've talked about it extensively and many of our issues, and something that I resolved to do a year ago was physically take myself away from Camelia and deal with whatever is going, I just poked myself in the eye, whatever is going on up here. Because obviously there's a lot of turmoil up here, there's a lot of issues up here, and that has been true in this relationship and of course my previous relationship. And that's what I want to talk about today. The best breakup ever, for real. Now, my first ever girlfriend, her name is, we'll call her Andy, because that's actually her name, and I have her permission, her consent to talk about our relationship, something that I'm very proud of, a thing that we built together and lasted just about 10 months. Andy was my first girlfriend, and I met her at a time when in my life I was just on fire. I think I was about to turn 19 years old. I was going to college, and I was meeting people left, right, and center. I was doing cold approaches. I was approaching people in a very sexual and awesome, empowering way. I was just having amazing interactions with people, and that includes two crucial characters, one of them being Camelia, who is now my girlfriend, and we're talking 4 years ago. Camelia, and of course, Andy. Camelia was someone who I was very intimidated by. Andy is someone who is very, I guess, conventionally sexy and cool, and she didn't intimidate my soul the way Camelia did, so something felt easier about making my first girlfriend be Andy. And at this point in my life, I mean, I was really proud to rep the single life, really proud, but I was also curious, what's it like to have a girlfriend? What's it like to settle down? So of course, Andy just, it so happened that timing and the way I was feeling in life, she became my first girlfriend. I went into monogamy. And the beginning of our relationship, like many relationships, was extremely passionate and loving and cool, when I even managed to forget all these other people I had crushes on at the time, and Andy just was my kick-ass girlfriend. But like many relationships, and especially first ever relationships, because all of life is an experiment, I'm learning, I'm constantly learning, and especially in my first relationship, I was learning a lot. We lost our passion, like I said, many relationships do. It's not something to be afraid of or ashamed of. It happens, there are precautions to take to avoid it, but I'm also just learning those myself. But yeah, we lost our passion, we fell into the slump of getting fat, eating Cheetos on the regular, watching movies, Netflix, cuddling, cuddles. You know, Andy, you're watching this, I love you, everything's cool, but we know what happened. And of course, communication issues that became, and this is towards the end of the relationship, they became explosive. I just was not ready, and that goes back to the turmoil in my brain. I was not ready for some of the issues we were going to face. I was a little too immature, I was a little too triggered, just so to speak, and I became pretty toxic. But even with these issues, we remained girlfriends for at least another month. And as we were approaching our 10-month anniversary, something really interesting happened. I'm not sure, Andy, if you know this, but you might. You probably do know this. I ran into an old friend. Her name is Camellia. I ran into Camellia for the first time in that 10-month relationship with Andy. And even though I only spent 10 very casual moments with Camellia, I walked away from that interaction feeling like, oh shit, I still really like this girl. It's like I just forgot how much I like her. Oh my god. And that feeling, that doesn't necessarily need to be a threat to anyone's relationship, but it was coupled with the issues I was already enduring in the relationship with Andy. And one other element happened, and this is where I want to encourage you, the viewer, to think about this, because we're approaching the end of summer, and fuck it, I'm sure summer has been wonderful for you. Summer is such a beautiful time. Summer is a sexy time. Summer is a time to make wonderful connections and have amazing memories and think, god damn it, summer of 2017 was just spectacular. And I'm sure you even hooked up with a bunch of people. You might have even made someone your bae, your before everyone else, right? Before anyone else. So if you do have a bae at the moment that you cultivated through the summer of 2017 and all the wonders of the summer, and spring's approaching, maybe school's approaching, different things, winter's approaching, and winter symbolizes death. If you're feeling skeptical, if you're feeling like you don't know, if you're even feeling hopeful that your new relationship will work out, but you're not too sure because it all happened so fast, I invite you to ask yourself the question that I asked myself towards the end of my relationship with my first ever girlfriend. And it's a question that, as I say, I'll just clarify many times in my videos, you have or you will continue to hear me say, I am not a practical person. I don't rely on logic. I do not rely on lists of pros and cons. My brain does not function that way. I am guided by my solar plexus and what fires up when I make a yes decision. And when something is a motherfucking yes or a no, this tells me so, and I trust it. And whenever I don't trust it, I usually make a really stupid mistake that I learned from. Therefore, I trust it. So I asked myself, do I see myself with Andy 1 year from now? And it's not that the answer was no, it's just that there was nothing. There was emptiness. It was void. It was like my brain, the curtains of my brain just drew a blank. There was nothing, and I knew, holy shit, I do not see myself with Andy a year from now. So you there, if you take that time to ask yourself, do I see myself with this person in whatever time frame from right now? And if you don't see anything, why fight? Why fight to try to see a result that's in your favor? Because the only thing in your favor is that complacency and that need to hold on to what you already have, because it's so much easier, and I know it's so much easier to stay with what you already have, but fuck it, nothing in this life lasts anyways. And you want to know the truth, you're gonna die, I'm gonna die, and anyone watching this video right now in 2017, years from now you're gonna be dead, tomorrow you might even be dead. And that's what guided that answer to that question. It's not just, oh my god, my life on this planet, my life is so scarce and so precious, my time, it's fleeting. It's not just about me, it's also thinking about my girlfriend, Andy, who, even though we had so many issues, I loved her and I love her. I want her to be free. I don't want to waste her time on this planet. I don't want to waste her time. I want her to be free. So don't just think about me and my needs. Think about everyone. Think about the value you're leaving people. Think about that. You know, that old, the hiking mantra of leave every trail or whatever it is. You know, leave everything you find better than how you found it, or however it goes. That's what you should take into all of your relationships in every moment of your day. So no, I don't see myself with this person 1 year from now. Oh fuck. And once I made that decision, a very serious shift happened in my identity. I felt like I had already decided I've broken up with her, so it's already over. But I didn't have that communication with her. And I felt that every moment I didn't tell her that we're broken up, I felt like I was cheating on her in some weird and psychologically flawed but interesting way. I felt like I was cheating on her. And I couldn't text her to tell her I need to break up with her. I couldn't call her because we were just so close that I had to break up with her in the flesh. And something extra strange happened that day where I made that identity shift that we're breaking up. I happened to run into her. It was not planned. We did not have plans to see each other. I didn't know when I would next be seeing her, but I ran into her. She was at my school. We crossed paths. Maybe she wanted to see me. It all just worked out that way. And when I saw her, I walked in a room where she was, and many mutual friends were, and I think she saw something was up with me. And some of the mutual friends around us was a couple, and one of them even said some suggestion like, oh, we should double date sometime. And I think I probably displayed some sort of fear when I heard of that, and Andy, she definitely sensed that because we were close enough to know what was going on in one another's minds. And I asked her, Andy, do you want to go outside? And she was like, yes. And we held hands, walking silently, not exchanging any words, what seemed like an endless walk to the outdoors, holding hands, hand in hand, just kind of holding her, knowing like, fuck, I love you, I'm so sorry, I'm so scared, something scary is about to happen, and I don't even know how to go about doing it because I've never broken up with someone I love before. I've never done this before, and I'm scared. So that's how I felt I was communicating to her, and the kind of love and fear and separation anxiety I was feeling, and of course this fear in myself to get out of my comfort zone, because it, like I said earlier, it would be easier to just stay complacently in this lackluster relationship where we're just becoming super abusive with each other, and it's no good. But so then we get outside, and basically the first thing I say to her is, without looking her in the eyes, of course, I say, I think I've been thinking. And upon saying that, I just start fucking crying. You know, my shoulders drop in a heave and I start sobbing. I try to hide it, but I'm just truly so devastated and afraid with life and this moment, this very vulnerable moment of hurting someone else potentially, or whatever is happening. So all I say is, I've been thinking, and I just start crying. And she looks up at me, she plays holding my hand, and she just says so tenderly, just say it. And that almost made the crying worse because she was so understanding. It's almost like she had already known and accepted what was going on. And I say through my sobs, I say, I think we need to break up. And we hold each other, and I cry, and she probably cries, and it's not an easy moment. If you've been through a breakup, or you're scared of breaking up with someone you might need to break up to, it's not an easy moment. There's no easy way to do it. I can't speak on divorces because I'm not there yet, and hopefully never will be. Hopefully you'd never even be married anyways. But it's not easy to break up with someone, especially breaking up with a first girlfriend, because who left that format for us to know how to do this? Who really guided us through this pain? Even people who I know who have divorced parents. I mean, those kids or adolescents clearly have no fucking idea most of the time why their parents separated. It's extremely confusing. There's not enough conversation around the issue, which is why I wanted to make this video. I don't know if it's going to help anyone. I don't know if maybe I'm just releasing some sort of experience that I had in life, but I want to talk about that first breakup. So of course, I say, I think we need to break up, and we're crying, she's probably crying, and we're holding each other because there's love. There's love. And that's the beautiful thing, is you don't want to break up in a moment of heat and fire and hate. Why would you want to do that? Andy and I, that last month of our relationship with the fucking issues we were enduring, we could have broken up many times in fights, in hate. We could have been yelling and said, fuck you, it's over. We could have done that, but we didn't. We didn't, because she's a human and I'm a human, and it's scary and I'm scared and she's scared, so let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. Until finally it's just, we can't do this anymore. But if I'm going to break up, and if we're going to break up, it's going to be through love. It's going to be through understanding, compassion, and frankly, from a place of, I'm so sorry. In fact, I'm sorry this didn't happen sooner. I'm sorry for all the shitty emotional turmoil the last month. I'm sorry. But we're breaking up now. Let's be free. Let's be free of it. Because in breaking up, what happened was it creates space to finally, let's say, love her fully. To not have to expect girlfriendship from her, and have her just be the person that she is and accept her for what she is and who she is. And now, about 2.5 years later or so, I can say, Andy, you're my ex-girlfriend, but I love you. You're a friend, and I care about you. I care about your outcomes in life, and I know you care about mine, and I know you love me and you love my current girlfriend too, and that's a really beautiful place to be in, because we didn't break up in hate, we just broke up in loving understanding and compassion. And in that moment where we did break up, the best breakup ever, we go for a breakup date, we go to a restaurant, we talk about it, we talk about the logistics, because if you're gonna have a relationship, if you're gonna go into a relationship, talk about the logistics of that relationship and what you expect to get out of it. Are you monogamous? Are you in an open relationship? How, like, what are your needs? What are the other person's needs? Get that on the table. And in that case, why not get the logistics of a breakup out on the table? Why not say, like, oh, hey, we've spent almost every single day together for the last 10 months together. Let's talk about the logistics of now not being together. Now it's time to not see each other as much. Let's try to heal and support each other through this time, because you're in a relationship even after a breakup. And I try to communicate this to, let's say, my cousin. My cousin is a person who is struggling on the boundary of, am I in a relationship with this person yet? We're just hooking up, but they don't want a relationship, blah, 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 blah. And I say, I don't care how much this person says they don't want a relationship with you, girl, because a relationship is a responsibility to hold communication to another person and communicate and say, I share a space with you, you share a space with me. To me, that's a relationship. That's an interaction. There's trust, there's expectations. It's a relationship. So a breakup, even in a breakup, you have a relationship to maintain. There's some sort of integrity there to hold. Why would you want to have a toxic breakup? I know too many people with toxic breakups. It seems like an anchor that you don't want to carry around. So why go there? Ask yourself, do you see yourself with this person however many weeks, months, years from now? Do you really see yourself with them? Is that really what you want? Does that feel right? Is that the right answer? Or do you want to go and be free? Maybe you feel that your relationship is holding you back from travel, from seeing other people. Or if you're with someone and you want to see other people, try to get that news out to them safely, cautiously, respectfully, and lovingly, just like you would with a breakup. So we had our breakup dinner, and even the waiter made some comment to us, and we joked. We were in a humorous place. We were fluctuating through all the emotions one would go through in a breakup, and we laughed at the waiter. We were like, ha ha ha, we actually just broke up, ha ha ha. It was such a joke that the waiter probably couldn't even tell if we were joking, and it was a funny and tender moment for us. And finally, after dinner, after what was like a 4-hour breakup that was peaceful and wonderful and the best breakup ever, we hugged each other goodbye at the metro, the subway in some cities, and we really cried, and then it became really sad, because we knew after this hug, the next time we would see each other, which might be weeks or months from then, we wouldn't be girlfriends anymore, and it's going to be different, and everything's going to be different. That is actually the best breakup ever, and the video that became so popular on my channel with Camellia, that wasn't actually a breakup, but Camellia and I did indeed take a break. And something that I held myself accountable for, and I'm not sure everyone needs to do this, but this is something that I did. Camellia was someone that I knew when I was knowing Andy as well, like when I was just making friends with everyone. And Andy always kind of knew that I had a crush on Camellia. You know, it's just, that's how much I've always liked Camellia, and that would explain why she's my girlfriend today. But when Camellia became my girlfriend, I felt this duty immediately, and this is a part of my love and my responsibility towards my relationship with Andy, because again, even though we're ex-girlfriends, there's still a relationship to uphold out of respect for each other, for her being a person, for me being a person. And yeah, when I started seeing Camellia, I knew, oh shit, this is getting serious again, because now I'm finally with Camellia, who I've been gaga about for so long, and it's real, and oh my god, I'm kissing her, oh my god, Camellia, you know, the losing your mind again in the new, fresh relationship that would be my relationship with my current girlfriend, who I am so in love with, Camellia. I knew in the beginning I didn't want my former girlfriend, Andy, to find out about Camellia and I through a Facebook kissy-kissy, lovey-dovey status or photo or whatever it would be. I knew I wanted her to find out in a way that would show her that I respect her. So just like Andy and I had a breakup date, we also had another date about 7 months later, where I sat down with her in a cafe and we caught up with our lives, and I caught up with her, and she's my friend, I'm her friend, and I told her, it was a moment just like when we broke up, like, I have to tell you something, course, I didn't break down sobbing right away, but I did tread lightly and carefully, and I told her, just so you know, Camelia and I have started seeing each other. And the conversation went from there. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to know that now, 2 years into my relationship with Camelia, I could check up on Andy, which I did before filming this video to make sure I have some consent to talk about it, and know that my former girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, is doing wonderful in life, and I'm so happy for her, and I don't hold any resentment or jealousy or any expectations that a girlfriend would have. She's just my friend. I want her to be free. I want her to feel peaceful in life. I want her to feel heart-wrenching love for other people. I want her to do that, to live her life that way, because that's what she means to me. And I invite you, again, the end of summer's approaching, whatever you've got in, whatever kind of mess, loving, sexy, lusting mess you've gotten yourself into, ask yourself, what am I doing with this person, these people? What are they doing with me? What do I want? What's going on? Because I know a lot of people watching my channel are young, and if you're like me, you probably crave some sort of freedom and liberation to explore and put yourself out there, and I invite you to figure out what it is you want. And if you're not like me in the sense that you tap into your solar plexus and how it fires up and leaves you with these sensations of what you know is right and what you know is wrong, then sit down with that list. I do that from time to time, and figure out, what do I want in life? What do I want in life? And go with it. Because I will say this in maybe every video I make, because it is just so painfully and beautifully true, you're gonna die. Your partners are gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all going to die. And that's not a scary thing, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a very natural thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a process that is inevitable in this life. It's a repercussion of being born. You're going to die. But if you're watching this video, I imagine you have some sort of freedom in life to have internet access, which means you probably have a decent life. You have a potentially good life. You have freedom of choice in life. And if you don't feel like you have freedom of choice in life, go after it. Get after it. Free yourself. Free other people. And realize that this life is short. And spend whatever you have left in this life with the people you want to be with, and honoring all of the time that there is to feel all of the love and grievance that you will feel being here on this planet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hearing this story. It's not as short or concise or maybe as beautiful as my initial best breakup ever video, but I wanted to share with you what is actually my best breakup ever. Thank you. I love you, Camelia. I'm sure you're watching. And I love you, Andy. Thank you so much for the lessons that you taught me. I am so grateful. Peace.